Welcome to Missouri Economy Today. I'm Julie Peterson. Joining me today is Jason Hall, Executive Director for the Missouri Technology Corporation with the Missouri Department of Economic Development. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you for having me.
Tell our viewers a little bit about the history of the Missouri Technology Corporation, or MTC.
The Missouri Technology Corporation was created by an act of law passed by the General Assembly in 1994 and is charged with responsibility for leading initiatives to promote entrepreneurship and technology-based business growth in the state of Missouri to grow our economy and create more high-paying jobs.
What are some of the specific areas of focus for MTC?
MTC focuses on 5 targeted industries which leverage our rich agricultural history and our research capacity that we have in the state. 3 of those 5 are in the biosciences, plant science, animal health and nutrition, and biomedical sciences. Additionally, the other 2 focuses are in the fields of applied engineering and material science, as well as defense and homeland security.
And when you talk about research capacity, what do you mean?
Missouri as a state is one of the leaders in the United States for conducting competitively funded research here. We have a lot of research capacity in terms of our laboratories, our faculty members, our research institutions like the Midwest Research Institute in Kansas City or the Donald Danforth Plant Science Center in the St. Louis area. Collectively, those institutions and that expertise is the research capacity that we have, and that is the ability to conduct scientific experiments and discover new ideas that can be the foundation for a new business.
Talk for just a minute about MTC's commercialization programs.
Sure. Commercialization is really our focus because, as I indicated, we have this tremendous strength in terms of the research we conduct. But the process of moving that research out of the laboratory or someone's basement or garage is known as commercializing a technology. And that's what we're focusing on. And just this week, we had a very exciting initiative announced by Governor Jay Nixon to support commercialization efforts in the state of Missouri. He announced an additional $16.9 million of funding to target early stage capital that is needed to move those early stage businesses from the lab into the marketplace to create jobs. And we're targeting those through 4 areas. One is our Tech Launch program, which is designed to help get the business off the ground in the first place and out of the lab. We have a seed capital co-investment program, which is a tool where if the private sector is willing to put some money, the kind of seed capital that it takes to do the advanced development work for these kind of businesses, we'll meet them halfway through a very competitive process. The next link in that chain is our venture capital co-investment program. Missouri has fallen behind in attracting venture capital. That's been well documented. So we are putting a tool in place to try to accelerate that private market venture capital to come to Missouri. And then finally, we have a high-tech industrial loan program where we can provide low-interest loans to help businesses that are hitting maybe that first growth spike in their entrepreneurial history and adding a lot of jobs. We want to be there to help them do that and make sure that they can do that expansion in the state of Missouri. We've had some wonderful examples this past year. SCD Probiotics in Kansas City. A gentleman literally created the company while he was still a University of Missouri undergraduate student, and his biotech manufacturing operation is adding 70 new jobs, and we were able to keep those in Missouri by being a part of the solution for that company.
Building on that a bit further, how important is it for Missouri to be growing technology-based entrepreneurship?
We think it's fundamental. As Governor Nixon pointed out just this past week when he was announcing his new initiative, the IDEA funds for seed and venture capital, this form of economic development is one of the most efficient that we have because we're growing the businesses right here within our state borders. And these kinds of businesses in the high-tech space are doing business far beyond Missouri's borders. So it's bringing that new money and those new jobs back into our state. And I think we need to look no further than our state's history to really punctuate how important and how critical this form of economic development is. If you look at history, 7 of the 10 largest businesses that still have their global headquarters in Missouri were founded by individual entrepreneurs with then innovative ideas around the turn of the century. And that's companies like Emerson, where you had two individuals that had a vision for small, reliable electric motors, or Leggett and Platt down in Carthage, where the vision was to have the first steel-coiled bed springs. Those have led to the creation of employers that have created tens of thousands of jobs for Missouri families for generations. They are sustainable, they are good paying, and we believe that having more businesses homegrown like that is a very sustainable form of economic development that we need to support.
Very rich history indeed. What's the future of technology-based business in Missouri?
We think it's bright. If you look at those areas that I talked about around our research capacity, particularly in the biosciences, like plant science and animal health and nutrition, that really leverage our rich agricultural history as a state, we think those are tremendous areas for growth. Leading scientific panel just last month announced that in the next 50 years, we're going to have to grow as much food and produce as much food in the next 50 years as we have from the beginning of time up until now. And so when you look at our research and high-tech startups around plant science and animal health, is how do you get more food produced per acre? How do you stop the insects that cause damage to crops so that you can have higher yields? We believe 5 out of 5 people eat, and those are areas where we really where we see growth, and we know there is going to be demand from around the world. And other areas around those categories in the biomedical sciences, where we need to bring down the cost of healthcare with innovative medical devices and new therapeutics. Those are the kinds of products and services that have tremendous demand. And so we think, again, those are the areas where we want to be, and we know that there is going to be tremendous growth going forward.
Right, some real-world examples there. Thanks very much, Jason, for joining us.
Thank you.
That wraps up this edition of Missouri Economy Today. Join us again next time for more on economic development efforts in Missouri. I'm Julie Peterson. Thanks for watching.